Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co host Jeff. That's right. You got it. So, tonight we are going to dive in head first into the shallow end for maximum impact, as Chip likes to say. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yesterday was Trump's speech in front of the joint session of Congress, which was outstanding. Got a couple takeaways from last night. We're going to get into the new National Crypto Association. Where exactly does that bring us? In what direction are we going? It's going to be exciting. Now, Elon Musk, XRP, crypto's actual turning point. So we're starting to see things stack up. People said it couldn't be done. Well, we're going to get into that. And the big question is, are we there yet? Where exactly are we? And are we there? That's what everybody wants to know. That's what I want to know. So we're going to kick this thing off. Let's go a little bit hardcore. If you guys are ready, let's do this. All right, let's go. Now, the question is, so with this software, with the new scenes, trying to figure everything out, and it's not as it seems. That is exactly what's going on over here with everything as we look at it. So, man, XRP is super slow. You know what we need to start off with? We got to start off with hit the likes. Give a shout out where you guys are tuning in from, what part of the world, what part of the country. How many of you have typed in the word of the day? If you know the word of the day, type it in, because that is where it all begins. It all begins with the word of the day. Now, I was actually going over here trying to figure out which badass Yeti we are going to be giving away later today on the show. And so, kind of going through and seeing who it should be, which badass Yeti, which clan. It's going to be from the Blue Tribe, that's for sure. There's so many of them to choose from. So, want to get into that, but we are going to dig in. Want to talk about, well, here's some of the things that we're going to cover tonight. Let's go over that first and foremost. What are we going to talk about tonight? Other than what I said in the intro, we're going to get into the National Crypto Association. We have some commentary on there from some real big players in the space, including the National Crypto Association. We're going to witness how the actual tide is turning and crypto is actually winning. We're going to see where Elon Musk factors into this, and we're going to try to identify the lies to the actual truth and what's going on with all the Canadians that supposedly are no longer coming to the US. And so that's not so true. In Florida, did Maxine Waters actually steal 1 million USD of taxpayer money? According to Elon Musk, he's looking into it. Liberals continue to defend money laundering, which you would try to really factor that one. Say a year ago, 2 years ago, would you think they would do that? Well, when their slush fund is drying up and being taken away, then they're willing to do anything. Now, the IRS is 100% on shaky ground. Trump is already laying people off, and the federal government in general is going through a complete audit. So we got to get into that. And Chip and I right once again in terms of crypto laws. There was a lot of discourse and discussion over whether or not there'd be crypto laws last year, the year before, or any time during the previous administration. And Chip and I said, nope, not going to happen. And the only way there would be any possibility of crypto legislation, it was going to be 2025. And so we got to dig into that. Are we right? Are we wrong? Some classic Trump. And I also believe that based on some of the things that we're witnessing, we might be seeing the end of the Canadian economy. So we got to figure that out. Is their economy actually coming to a crashing halt? That's going to be interesting. At least we got to look into it. Got to figure it out, because why Mark Smithson is driving by Big Beaver, exit 69. That's right. You heard it. You heard it here first. Big Beaver, exit 69. It's a real thing. If you didn't believe it was a real thing, then all you got to do is just go over to Detroit, go start heading up I-75 towards Rochester Road, and you'll find out. You'll see it. You will see it. So, what is going on, Caroline, over in Australia? The provider of all the amazing plant stuff for the Wave of Innovation Gold Coast, which was outstanding. That was last year's Gold Coast event, Wave of Innovation event. All right, so go ahead, keep commenting. I love your commentary as it pops up, and we are going to dig in. I was over here. I'm looking for the one badass Yeti that we're going to give away, and I stumbled across this little guy. And I said, you know what? This guy is cool. But then I found somebody else that I kind of like even more. And so, oh, look at that. Client side exception, an error has occurred. There's an error. That's not a good thing. There we go. So I've decided on a Titan. If you guys haven't seen a Titan, the Titan is of the. Oh, you know what? I need to share my screen too so you guys can see what that guy is. Then we're going to really get into it. We're going to dig in. We got a lot of things to dig into tonight. So let's have a little bit of fun here. First and foremost, the Titan of the Blue Tribe, the Clan Titan. This little guy here is going to go home with somebody. We're going to do a giveaway. You guys know what the word is. If you don't know what the word is, someone's already typed it. The word of the day is, well, someone let us know what the word of the day is. But anyhow, so this is going to be the bad boy that we're going to be giving away later, which is really cool. And so, you know what I need to do while we're going through this, while we're looking, I am going to update. Got a song that we got to play when we show these guys off. This guy is this guy's a Titan of the of the Clan Titan of the Blue Tribe. These guys are pretty cool. Nothing displayed, just a purple screen. How about that? Do you guys see it now? Do you guys see the Titan up there? Is he coming up? Can you see him? Or is it still a purple screen? That's what I'm wondering, if you guys can see if you guys can't see him, then we got other issues. Let me know. Let me know if you guys can see just purple. Seriously? Man, what is going on? You guys can't even see it. There's the purple. Oh, you know what? It's because of these scenes that are going on. Now I see the problem with these scenes. How do I get out of these scenes? This is so crazy. They start the scenes. I want to just, I don't know what, the scene is active. How do I get out of the scene? This is crazy. It stuck me. It stuck me in a scene. And now I can't get out of the scene that it's created. And it's not going to allow me to present anything. Hang on a minute. This is what happens. You get a, they update software. Now it's just me. How about now? Now, do you guys see it? Do you guys see the guy? Is it just the purple screen? Can you guys see the Titan now? Is he up on the screen? It's not OBS, so we use a platform called StreamYard. StreamYard is constantly updating, adding all sorts of new features, but not the features we want. The only feature that I would love to have on this is when we share our screen, that there's actually an option to go immediately into adding audio. And it doesn't let you do that. You have to unshare. You got to end it. And then you got to start the whole thing all over again. So now with the scene, if I go out of it, how about now? Do you guys see the scene now? It's like everything's so slow and delayed because of these scenes. And there's no way to end the scene. That's so crazy. So, all right. You know what I need to do anyways? I need to remove it. I need to stop sharing. I need to add, because we're going to have some video to play here in a little bit. So I need to add video. I need to add audio. And then we're going to get into it. We're in the scene and we'll get this all sorted out. So first thing I want to get into, I want to talk about this National Crypto Association. That's what we got to talk about. We're going to get into this. Maybe there's a video. There is a little bit of a video we can play. So let's do that. Actually, let me skip because if we get to the Stuart Alderati commentary, why don't we just open up these guys? Oh, I've got too many things open here. Hang on 1 second. Here we go. Let's add this. Can you guys see this? Hey, there's Blackjack Larry. We actually played a song for Blackjack Larry. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did have that played. So big shout out to Blackjack Larry. It's actually my dad. For anybody in here who's interested to know, Blackjack Larry is actually my dad. He's coming to visit, coming to hang out with us on the and talk about crypto, which is very nice. Okay, purple again. What's going on? Hang on a second. And I'm even in presentation mode. Man, what in the world did they do? Okay, now that's a black screen. Now that's presentation mode. I don't even know how to get out of presentation mode now that it started. But can you guys see it now? You guys see the I'm gonna have to keep saying, hey, can you guys see the script? See what I'm sharing? Because they totally messed up everything. Let's cut. All right. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, let's go. Well, let's play this video. Let's hear what the video has to say. Let's go through this, and then we're going to read a little bit about the National Crypto Association. So here we go.
All right. You ready?
Hi, guys. All good?
It's okay to look at each other, right?
Here we go.
I learned about crypto for a body of work.
I've been focusing on crypto gaming.
I was making YouTube videos.
I wanted to work on something that's a little more purpose-driven.
Having a child is what really put us in the mindset of starting to want to invest more.
So crypto became my bridge to connect with people.
Talk to me about the blockchain. Explain blockchain.
I actually didn't know much about crypto.
And I started really digging in, researching, and trying to figure out what is blockchain, what is crypto, how it all works.
It is simply just a record, a public ledger of value.
You can interact directly on the blockchain, exchange items of value much more easily.
Less fees, more transparency.
It is sustainable, it is equitable, and it's fast.
It's having flexibility and feeling comfort and secure. And I think crypto makes us feel that way.
Blockchain has given me a new medium.
Crypto is the future.
This technology really can be used for good.
Let's cut.
Okay. You got thumbs up.
We're good?
Cut. Solid.
So the National Cryptocurrency Association. What exactly is it? So let's see. The National Cryptocurrency Association, proud to announce the launch of the NCA. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping Americans better understand crypto. So if there was ever timing, now's the timing. Get it stacked up right now, just as it's about to go parabolic and go to mainstream, right? We're going to see mainstream crypto adoption. We're going to see crypto in the strategic reserve. People have to understand exactly what it is, how it is, and all of that. So crypto is becoming mainstream, and the NCA is here to help people navigate the hype and the confusion, because we know there's a lot of both. There's a lot of YouTube fanboys out there promoting the hype. Oh, wait, and the confusion. They are planning on offering education, guidance, support, and then shine a spotlight on the impact that crypto is bringing to real people across the country, which is very cool. I like to see that. Like to see how they're going to educate everyone. To anyone and everyone using or holding crypto or wanting to learn more, go to visit nca.org and meet some of the 55 million Americans benefiting from crypto in their daily lives. So I thought that was pretty cool, and we'll go check out the nca.org. Let's dig in a little bit. This is kind of timing of events, and as we start really navigating, what does it mean for the average person? Who is the average person that holds crypto? How do you get more people involved in investing in crypto? And then do they want to invest in crypto directly, or are they going to be investing into ETFs through, various entities like Grayscale or others. And incidentally, Grayscale did submit their ETF for XRP, which I'm sure you guys are all very intimately aware of. But here's kind of a breakdown, understanding crypto one question at a time. Who is it for? What is a blockchain? How exactly does it work? All the things that people are really going to want to know. What's a wallet? This is all brand new for many, many people, which is impressive considering everyone around here would assume, hey, you know what? Everybody knows about crypto because everyone we hang out with in the chats on X or on YouTube, everybody's basically into crypto one way or the other. So I found that to be, really interesting. And then Stu Alderati, it's great to see Stu Alderati, who is head attorney there over with Ripple, right? Chief legal officer at Ripple. And he's now the president of the National Crypto Association. So very cool. So what is his big statement? NCA officially launches today, and I'm excited to join as president. In addition to my role as chief legal officer at Ripple. Now, what's the NCA going to do, you ask? It's going to put a spotlight on real people and businesses using crypto every day. NCA is not a political organization. You would assume maybe it's a political entity. Maybe it's some sort of a lobby group. Well, that's not it. It's open to all. It's not limited to any specific project or protocol. Bitcoin maxis can still come in and hang out with the group over there. NCA is here to cut through the noise and make sure that everyday Americans have the facts, the resources, and the tools and support they need to engage with crypto confidently, not confidentially, confidently. If you're already benefiting from digital assets in your life or your business, now's the time to join us and share your story. If you're just curious, we're here for you to learn more. Take a look and check out the NCA.org, which we already did. Now, interestingly enough, Stu Alderati wasn't the only one to comment on this. Who else? Brad Garlinghouse also commented. Ripple is now proud to support the launch of the NCA, the National Cryptocurrency Association. Over the last few years, crypto has catapulted to the mainstream. Unbelievable that today 55 million people, 55 million Americans. Let's underline that. That should be highlighted right here. There's actually 55 million Americans that hold and use crypto. I think that's a pretty staggering number considering it's been around for 12 years, 13 years. Things are moving at a very rapid rate. And many more are curious where, when, and how can I use this tech in my life? The NCA, a chain agnostic, non-political, nonprofit, is here to help by educating and raising awareness of all the utility that crypto technologies are bringing to real people every day. NCA is independent of Ripple, but we're proud to support. And there's the NCA. And a lot of people commented. Michael Arrington came out and commented. A lot of people from the community obviously commented on Brad Garlinghouse. Even the BTC Maxi Ape had to have a comment over here. And his comment was, I hope all's well. We kindly ask you to F off. Please let me know. That's why even the Bitcoin Maxis, they can also attend. They can be part of this because it's agnostic. It's not the way the Bitcoin Maxis like to spin things, which is to make things maximalist. Because as we know, there can only be one crypto. There can only be one stock. There can only be one of anything, one precious metal, one precious gemstone. You can't have more than that. One automotive manufacturer, one computer manufacturer, one cell phone manufacturer. You can't have a choice. You can only have one. It makes absolutely zero sense to consider all of that. So wondering when Trump is going to start talking more about crypto. Well, it's getting there. And actually, we're going to see that there's going to be legislation coming forth here very soon. I don't know how much more he needs to talk about crypto when he made the statement of putting crypto into the strategic reserve. If you consider the strategic reserve, gold, and you can have oil in the strategic reserve, you can have other precious metals and things in strategic reserve, putting crypto, and he highlighted specifically which cryptocurrencies would be in the strategic reserve. Now it then falls into the hands of Congress, and we're actually getting a little bit further with that as well. So I think there's definitely a lot of components to identifying the direction that we are going to be moving in with cryptocurrency as a whole. And this is interesting, kind of falls right in line with what we're talking about. Now I'm afraid to unshare. I feel like if I unshare, I wonder if I go to this stage, and then if I come back to this stage, if I come back, are you guys still seeing a purple screen, or do you guys see what I'm presenting? Because this should be presentation mode. It says media presentation mode, as though I'm presenting. So if you guys could just give a shout out and say, yeah, we can see it. Because then if you can see it, then we can actually talk about it. Just do it. Just do it. What am I doing? I got to talk about this screen, not the software. Kind of, okay, cool. We can see it. Trying to figure out where all the momentum is here. So here, this is really, if we want to look at, some of the big winners of U.S. crypto policy, who do we have? We have XRP, ADA, SOL, it's three big winners thriving in the new space. Now we have AVAX looking for recognition, SUI, Phil, APT, NER, and Move apparently gaining some momentum after White House invitations. Meanwhile, Link, LTC, DOT, HBARP are stronger candidates. Now, here, this is interesting as we see, people put these things together. Let's say we got the big winners of crypto, ETF applications. There's a lot within the circle of the ETF application. Made in the USA, which is a huge number, made in the US over here. Then we have the ETF applications extend all the way. You got XRP, ADA, SOL, ETH, etc. Mentioned by Trump. You have this group here: Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, and ADA. And then you have blockchain projects that attended the White House. So lots of movement. We're just starting to get into it, and it's really amazing to see kind of, the mix, the direction, exactly where we going with all of this. How does this actually develop and expand into, the right direction as to growth in the space? How do we get more growth in the space? So we can see that overall, a lot of interest in it. Crypto Eddie actually, put this up here. I think good timing, but hello, Esther Pierce. I have a big resource tip for you. Please reach out to John Deaton over at the Crypto Law to assist you with your new crypto task force at the SEC. You can thank me later. That's nice. We'll see if they actually reach out to John Deaton. You guys know that John Deaton ran against Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, in the last election, and he didn't win the last election. But anyhow, she's giving him a quick shout out. Why? But the necessity of everything that he's done within the crypto space, helping lead the charge for getting over 70, close to 80,000 XRP holders, being able to intervene in the case SEC v. Ripple, and actually scoring a victory against the previous SEC under Chair Gensler. So here we have SEC Commissioner calls for public input on crypto asset regulation. This is something that was passed, something that had been requested. And so now as we start, they start reaching out for public input. Now it's going to get interesting. And we're going to go and look at some of the feedback that was given in terms of when there's an expectation of actual regulatory clarity and regulation, or specific law structure in and around crypto, which could be very important as we start navigating and building, developing, and all that. But so here we have U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Commissioner Esther Pierce, and the SEC's Crypto Task Force recently underscored the new administration's commitment to engage with digital asset market participants in the near term. Not like some promise that may or may not happen over the next 4 years, but something that is going to happen now. Commissioner Pierce issued a statement titled, "There must be some way out of here," calling for a public input on more than 50 questions with the goal of understanding how to better regulate crypto assets. Now, we don't want it to be overly regulated and subject to SEC whim. And hopefully, as we start navigating these federal agencies, where the federal agencies actually start shrinking exponentially, and we have less and less unelected bureaucrats causing and wreaking havoc on every single one of these government institutions. We need to shrink government probably by at least 70%, maybe more, to get rid of all the fat and corruptive behaviors that take place. And we saw that firsthand with Gary Gensler, that it really wasn't about the people, wasn't about the space, wasn't about development. It was pretty much just, hey, how do we crush the space, specifically. So like Vincent Scully saying, the SEC will be rendered irrelevant. It's definitely moving in that direction, right? If the Maxis were so confident, why would they be throwing such a fit? If BTC had the best tech, wouldn't the market decide? Now, I don't believe that there's only one. I don't think that there should be maximalism. Yeah, I like Bitcoin. I like the store of value. I like the fact that it's recognized on a global scale. I like the fact that had it not been for Bitcoin, none of us would be sitting here. So Bitcoin definitely has a place, but so does, other things within tech, or just in general has a space, but it's not meant to do everything that everyone thinks that it can do. Michael Saylor, I think, says it best when, he's putting his, the company's treasury into Bitcoin, and they're not looking for payment rails. They're not looking for ways to spend Bitcoin or build on Bitcoin, or, they're not trying to do any of that. They're basically storing value. El Salvador, storing value. Trump wants to put it into the strategic reserve, country by country by country. But then obviously there's some development in the space, and they think they can actually build on it. And that's great. If they could build it and figure that part out, that's awesome. But in the meantime, maybe not so much. So here we go. I had to update this guy here. Hang on one second. I'm trying to update something that we got to play here in 1 second. Man, this guy is number 6. I didn't even realize that the guy that we're giving away tonight is actually number 6. Doesn't get any cooler than that. His name is Sin. He's one of the Titans that we were talking about earlier. So I'm just updating. Typically we got Chip and I going, so it's easy to kind of go through here and update things, as we go on the fly. And now I'm trying to do this and trying to see if I can. Oh, here we go. All I need to do is I'm going to just adjust one thing. He's of the clan Titan. Look at that. And then we're going to change the guy's name. So I'm just updating some of the music. And as we update the music, it's going to be interesting to see what we come up with today. So there we go. All right, let's keep going while that's doing its thing. Crypto's winning. The tide is turning. Now let's get into some Elon Musk here. Here we go. Elon get to some of the commentary here as well. Oh yeah. Hey, make sure you guys take a look at the word of the day, because if you didn't type in the word of the day, Elite Meditations knows the word of the day. And we got, if you want to see dedication to showing up here and watching Crypto Welt on vacation over in Turkey and 4:30 a.m. hanging out with us right here, which is very cool. So what do we have here? This was Elon Musk said this has to do with DOGE.
Elon Musk.
We're going to play this in 1 second. Yet another scam, stealing your tax dollars has been stopped. I look at all this stuff. We got to play through these because it's all factoring in to the direction that we're moving in with crypto and everything else. But Elon Musk posted this. So let's play this while we get the other video ready. So hang on 1 second. Then we get into what Jim D's got going on.
Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has targeted a nonprofit based here in San Antonio, saying its contract for $215 million a year is canceled. News 4 San Antonio I-Team Waste Watch reporter Jay Avila has this story live from the Content Center.
Mandy, in a post on X, DOGE said the Department of Health and Human Services had terminated a contract paying Family Endeavors $18 million a month to operate an empty facility in West Texas.
The organization is also known as Endeavors, and you may have seen its administrative headquarters and wellness center on De Zavala Road, where it has a cluster of buildings and storefronts. DOGE focused on an overflow housing facility for migrant families Endeavors operates in Pecos, Texas, which DOGE says has been sitting empty, while Endeavors has been receiving the $18 million per month. Homeland Security reposted DOGE's X post, tagging U.S. Attorney Ed Martin with the words, "Please investigate," to which Martin responded, "Duly noted, we are on it." I went to Endeavor's San Antonio headquarters today to get a comment from the organization. They responded late this afternoon by email. Endeavors was responsible for maintaining operational readiness at the Pecos shelter, ensuring the ability to scale from cold status, operationally ready but not actively serving children, to full use of 3,000 beds as needed. Decisions regarding facility use and migrant sheltering locations were made by the federal government, not Endeavors. Any claims of corruption or mismanagement are baseless. DOGE also claims Endeavors received its HHS contract in 2021 after a former ICE employee and Biden transition team member joined the nonprofit.
So, I find all this really interesting. And the reason being is that as we start moving into mainstream adoption with crypto, we start going that way with blockchain, consider transparency. Huge amounts of waste and fraud, fingers being pointed. Endeavor says they didn't do it. You have facilities sitting empty. They collect a huge amount of money, $18 million, not providing anything, not doing anything. Where's the transparency? So if you look at blockchain is the ultimate of Excel spreadsheets. It's the perfect scenario for providing transparency and also then providing a trust mechanism that you can't have fingers pointed. Here's the money you've got. What are you actually doing? What are you spending the money on? Are you spending money? Where is it going? Who is it going to? What are they using it for? Let's now track them. Let's look at their wallets. Let's look at their expenditures. Let's look at the whole picture. At the end of the day, it all boils down to U.S. tax dollars, money coming out of our pockets. And, we should be extremely, extremely concerned about everything being spent. We're beginning and witnessing kind of the beginning of a trend. Once you get some sort of regulatory framework, you get some recognition of crypto, of blockchain. Now, all of a sudden, it can become a utility tool that's put in place from an audit perspective, so we can begin auditing. We can start utilizing it from audit the votes, audit the Fed, audit whatever you want to audit. Put everything into a blockchain type environment, and it allows for simplicity. We need simplicity, because at the end of the day, corruption, right? Absolute, we're seeing an absolute form of corruption take place, whether it was intended, not intended, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get to a point where there's so much money in the slush fund and they just have to spend it. One of the acknowledgments was they get their budget, and this is how, these institutions work, and you hear it all the time. We were allocated X amount of money in our budget. We have to spend every last dollar of it, because if they don't spend every last dollar of it, when they go to apply for their budget in the next fiscal year, they're not going to get as much because they spent less. And so what do they tell you at the federal government level? And they acknowledge this, is that by the end of this fiscal year, when they realize there's still money left, they said, go take trips, start traveling, do all the things that you probably, don't need to do, or maybe they should have done, but try to spend every last dollar that's available in the budget. And then they reapply for budget again. That's a complete, whether, maybe it's inconsequential, maybe it's, unintended fraud, but it is a level of fraud, because that money doesn't belong to you. I don't care if it was budgeted to you. The people that budgeted to you doesn't belong to them. They're just the overseers of the money. They're the handlers of the money, the handlers of that part of the budget. Take that money, send it back. Maybe it goes back to the taxpayers. Maybe it goes back to a different taxpayer fund that is then spent on positive things. You don't have to spend it. You don't need it. Reallocate it. This is, one of the biggest issues that has been going on, right, for many years, right? It's not like, oh, hey, it just, stuff like that doesn't pop up in 4 years or 8 years or 12 years or 16. This has been going on for decades, decade after decade. And the larger the government gets, the sloppier it gets, the messier it gets, the more confusing it gets, the easier it is for fraud to take place. We saw it many times over in different institutions. You go to the supervisor of election office in Broward County, Florida, and that was exactly what was happening a number of years ago, that the supervisor of election, her position was to make sure that the election process flowed smoothly in Broward County, which it didn't. And so then on an investigation, what did she say? She said, well, everything's too confusing. It's too messy. There's too many things happening. But it was all on purpose, by intent. Part of it was ineptness. The other part was exactly to create that environment where things were messy, things were confusing. Because when you create a messy, confusing environment, things can go missing, and you can defraud, or you can commit the level of fraud, even if it's small, but you can cheat the system in ways that people aren't going to be observant of. And again, whether intended, not intended, in some scenarios, maybe they're cheating the system unaware of it because they're stealing from the system. I see the whole budget thing that goes like in this scenario that we're just looking at with Endeavors. If you're not using the money and you have an empty facility, even if you're a not-for-profit and the money's going to you, you don't deserve to have that money, because you're an unused facility. I don't care. They're sitting there empty for what? For illegals coming into the country so they can warehouse illegals coming in. You know what? The only way, the safest way, the most secure way, and the best way of working with these people is to send them back to the country that they came from, because they, for many different reasons, come into the country legally. Now, that's a whole different conversation. We get on totally different show, but we can get into the whole immigration system on how it is broken, it is malfunctioning, and there has to be a cleaned up solution to how that immigration system flows. There's a lot of different issues in and around it, but you can't have facilities like this just sitting vacant. It just kills me, to see this stuff and know that this is our tax dollars at work, just getting kind of wasted. It's kind of a torture, so to speak. So, you know what I forgot to do? This is what I was doing. Shoot, I was doing. Second. Okay, perfect. That one's good. Okay, this is the one we got to do. got to download something really quick. And then once that downloads, I forgot to add a soundtrack to this other thing. And I downloaded the video and I forgot to add the soundtrack to the video. And what's the purpose of the video if we don't have a soundtrack? So now we're going to upload this. I got to do all this at once. I got to do this. I got to have this going there only because it's cool. There we go. We're going to run this thing here in a minute. In the meantime, all right, we'll get into when that gets done. Let me see. Okay. I think that's the one I just downloaded. There we go. Let me expand this and then perfect. Now we're good. Here we go. All right, perfect. That's awesome. Look at this. So amazing when you can set this up and then we're going to download it and it's going to take like 2 seconds and then we're going to be back in it and it's going to be great. Here we go. Do you think the right and left are playing good cop, bad cop? I would say that they used to. I would say now they are not. It's not happening anymore. I think the two sides, for the most part, were two sides of the same coin. Yeah, there was no distinction whether you were left or right. You could flip it over, and at the end of the day, they would get out there on the floor and media, whatever, and they would yell at each other, and then they go out to dinner and go hang out, go to the same parties. But then we started to see over the past 8 years plus, you started seeing that deep state, the elitist that have been in Europe for a long time. But you started to see that entrenched behavior, and it was hidden before, but now it's coming out like in your face. So you could really tell that, they were telling you what they're going to do. They were, telegraphing it. So it was very obvious, but we started to see a polarization of the parties, and you see the left went into this crazy mindset, way left, right? They're no longer in the center. I believe our country has always been kind of right of center, not left to center. It's always a little bit right of center, but center is kind of the game because of the mix of the country. Artificially, they pulled the country and they pulled the pendulum all the way to the left. And I said, what's going to happen as they pull the pendulum to the left? They can only hold it for so long, and it's going to come back and it's going to eviscerate them. And that's exactly what happened to the Democrats for the most part. They got eviscerated just one after another. And it's going to continue that way because we're seeing red pill across the board. People are leaving the Democrat Party. They're going independent. They're going over to the Republican Party or whatever it is. But this is one of the first times in history under this administration that we've seen members of that were previously Democrat not that long ago, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, and others that are coalescing, Elon Musk, and many others that are coming together for the betterment of the country. And, they want to streamline. We want to make this country safe. We want to make the country successful, make it better. And we're moving in that direction at a very rapid pace. But that was the key, right? And so that's where, are they of the same side? They definitely were. Things are changing. Now, the key is that it continues to change. Now, they're just the tip of the spear. I think, Trump is serving a purpose right now, here and now, as the tip of the spear. All that group of his, key people in the administration are the tip of the spear, and it's impacting every country around the world. We're going to start seeing a realignment on a global scale that has to happen, because we can't continue down this path of elitism like we've seen in Europe, and the fact that they're admonishing the people who are of that country, right? The ones that were born and raised there. And, so if you go to England, you got those in the UK, that's their homeland. And yet they have people moving there from other countries that could give a crap about the country. They're just there, because they want to take as much as they can take and then maybe leave, maybe, send the money, back home or wherever they're doing it. And they don't care about defending the country or the homeland. That's not saying all of them, but there's large groups of people now all around the world because they're allowing them in. They're allowing this mass migration of illegal immigration, or just they call them migrants, and they're allowing them in this so-called refugee status because of all the chaos and turmoil that's been created in different parts of the world. But then the answer to that isn't just to open your borders and let everybody in, and you can't do it in mass numbers. You have to do it, and if you're allowing immigration, see the flow of immigration, people typically coalesce, but their objective was to become and assimilate and become part of society, become part of the culture, learn the language, learn the cultural nuances, bring a little taste of your culture, but you want to become part of that culture. And what we're witnessing now is people leaving and bringing all their culture and not wanting to adapt and not even having, they can't, it's all happening too fast. You can't just expect them to rapidly assimilate, and it's causing chaos and tension, and you can't do it in mass numbers like this. And it's almost as though it's done on purpose, whether it's on purpose or not. Let's say it wasn't done purposely and people are really doing it out of the passion, bottom of their heart to help people. You're not helping anyone. You're flipping the narrative and you're making chaos. You're creating chaos, and you're creating a dangerous situation for both parties, the ones that are coming here and the ones that are here. Right. So, and if you look at the United States, we're a melting pot, but the melting pot has become a cultural melting pot of Americans from the US, right? US citizens. And people come here from all over the world, but now you're just going to start dumping people in mass numbers, these elite that don't want to be here, that didn't come here because they wanted to come here. They're not really escaping something. They're just dumping them in. They're allowing them in these mass numbers. Many of them are, with criminal intent. Maybe many of them don't, but there's no way to absorb them, no way to house them, no way to assimilate them. It was done on purpose. I believe strongly this whole thing was done on purpose, because we've seen it on a global scale in countries all over the world. If it happened one area, it wasn't. But the fact that there's no such thing as a coincidence and it's happening on a global scale, then there's something that just isn't right. That's just how it is. Just is not right. Now let me see. Did I download? I did. Is this the video? That is a video. Look at that. Now, let's see if this actually is going to do. I'm putting all this in here and trying to do this, and you guys are going to be like, I don't know why I just spent all this time trying to change the music and do all this stuff. All right, where was I? Start going off on a tangent, and then let's see where we are commentary-wise. There we go. Legendary. They tell you what they're going to do so they don't feel conscientious about what they do to us as they do it. That's right. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's insane that just here's what we're going to do. And there you go. And then it's really, really crazy. All right. So let me see here. Look at that. I think it's done. I put all that time. I'm like, talking and trying to figure this out just so we can play this bit right here. Let me throw it up here.
What's the word of the day? YETIS. Get your comment while ready, because this one's gonna be epic. Stay tuned to the old legendary. Who tried YETIS? Jack 452 systems, set up clan titans. Let's go. Let's go.
There you go. That's what we're giving away today. We're giving away the Titan of the clan Titans from the Blue Tribe. I was doing all that just so I could put that up there. I love that. It's so awesome. All right. How many people? Where is our giveaway? We have very few people that have typed in the word of the day, Yeti. You got to have your Zaman wallet ready. So when we do that drawing, you guys will be ready for the drawing, and we'll give that thing away, which will be really kick ass. So I'm looking forward to that. And then to the Canadians out there, hang on a second. Whoops. Hang on. Let me pull this back over here. Trying to get rid of this video. It doesn't want to go. There we go. Okay. Got rid of the video. Let me pull this over. This was this was DeSantis 3.3 million visitors from Canada. That's not much of a boycott. So let's throw this up here. Here we go. So am I sharing? Did I ever stop sharing? No, I got to stop sharing. I don't know if I had audio on that. Oh, what is that? What did they add? Present. Oh, they didn't add anything. Shoot. Made believe they added something new. Add that. There we go. Now, here we go. Now we've got, I don't even know what channel this was on.
Flock to our state and invest. Flock
this
to
was DeSantis. Statement from DeSantis. I think that was today. When was that? Maybe it was today. Maybe it was yesterday. But here we go.
Flock to our state and investment to Florida surge. We continue to set tourism records. 2024 saw more than 142 million visitors come to the state of Florida. This includes 3.3 million visitors from Canada. That's not much of a boycott in my book. Maybe they wanted to get a glimpse of what a Stanley Cup winning hockey team actually looks like.
Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, there you go. There you have it. DeSantis, 3.3 million Canadians came to Florida, and it's all because they wanted to get a glimpse of a Stanley Cup. Okay, here we go. So let's put this one up. This is Maxine Waters. We saw some crazy stuff yesterday. Oops. Where'd it go? I just lost it. Here it is. Hang on 1 second. Oh. This one's still playing. DeSantis is still playing in the background. Here we go. Okay, now this was Elon Musk forwarded this. He said stole $1 million of taxpayer money. So is this the case? Is this true? If you think about Maxine Waters was the one blowing kisses to Sam Bankman-Fried, if you remember, SBF, head of FTX that went down. Remember, she was blowing him kisses. Well, let's see what we got from this. Here we go. This was Maxine Waters. Let's see what it says. This will be interesting.
Maxine, you funneled over $1 million in campaign funds to your daughter. Is that why you're worried about DOGE?
Get your ass away, young man.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch you. I'll press charges. But I'm just, I feel like that's a pretty fair question. Why are you so worried about DOGE? You're pushing me. Why are you so worried about DOGE? You're pushing me. DOGE has a very high approval rating amongst the American people. So what? You don't like the will of the people? Maxine, you funneled over $1 million in campaign funds.
It's really interesting when you see the henchmen. Now, we've seen other politicians that have tried to use henchmen like that. It doesn't typically end well for them, mainly because, it looks like they're covering something up. Looks like they're hiding something. But when they start getting aggressive with the media, we've seen that narrative before. And again, doesn't really play out, extremely well. All right. We're going to go through these. Then we're going to get into the crypto laws coming before 2026, which is really cool because who doesn't want to see crypto laws coming before 2026? That'd be pretty cool. Now, here's another one from Elon Musk. Elon Musk, here we go. He forwarded this one on. Bullseye, right on target. The best part about DOGE is that liberals are forced to publicly defend blatant money laundering. That's interesting. I like that one. That one is good. And then let's move down. Let's go to one more here. Oh, look at this one. We've got the IRS on shaky ground. Hang on 1 second. Ooh. Let's check this out. This is going to be interesting. So this is Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Remember, we pay tax into the Internal Revenue Service. Wouldn't it be amazing to stop paying taxes to the IRS and have the External Revenue Service? Make America great again. That's the goal of Donald Trump. And I think he's going to hit it. He's going to do everything he can to make it happen. We're talking about the External Revenue Service versus the Internal Revenue Service. Let's see. What does he have to say about that?
If you look from the day before the election to today, you're going to see that the markets are up. The market's what, 0.25% you're worried about now? I'm actually on TV talking about 0.25%. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. Tariffs are going to drive America better. Remember, we pay taxes into the Internal Revenue Service. Wouldn't it be amazing to stop paying taxes to the Internal Revenue Service and have the External Revenue Service of Make America Great Again, replace our taxes? That's the goal of Donald Trump. And I think he's going to hit there. He's going to do everything he can to make that happen. Lower our taxes. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on seniors. Come on. This is an amazing country, and we are winners.
Mr. Secretary, thank you for coming in today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome. You know, we're starting to see things happen one step at a time. It can't all happen. They're putting so much out there. It's really, really impressive at the pace at which things are happening. You know, it's all going so quick. I don't think people know exactly how to handle it, you know, on either side. So here we go. This is Charles Hoskinson, right, from Cardano. ADA. You guys know the guy. Let's put him up. Here he goes. Yeah, they should hire back all 87,000 ERS auditors. Let's audit the tariffs, not the IRS, which is just an absolute disaster. But let's do this one. So this is, zip this one back. This will be interesting too. Here we go. And actually, as this plays out with this video, well, let's play it first.
I've talked to numerous congressmen and senators, and they are exceedingly clear that they want to get laws passed before the end of 2026. So this year will be very productive. But even if the laws are passed, that doesn't translate to everything's done. Typically, what the law does is it sets the foundation up, and then you have to actually build the house on top of it. So there's going to be a lot of punting to administrative agencies, and the SEC has to form a working group with the CFTC, and they have to talk about it. And then we have to go through everything, the custodial standards, the reporting requirements, the consumer protection side of it, the tax policy for these types of things. I've talked to numerous congressmen and senators, and
well, we played through it. So you look at that, and I go back to what Chip and I were saying. I said in the beginning, we kind of, analyze it, and here we go. We're kind of moving in a direction that, trying to get some sort of regulatory normalcy over cryptocurrency, and we're almost spot on, right? It had to happen in this administration. Wasn't going to happen in the previous administration. We're so close to seeing it happen. We're starting to see all the pieces coming together. Now they got to bring the legislation. Once they bring the legislation, they're going to pass it. And they have an opportunity to pass it through all sides, through the House, through Senate, and getting the legislation signed and codified into law. So let's put this one up now. This is this guy. They want to keep bringing it. I get it. They want to fight back. They got to fight back. And all this, but we have Ontario Premier Doug Ford just canceled Elon Musk's Starlink contract and banned all U.S. companies from U.S. contracts in response to Trump's economic war with Canada. It's done. It's gone. Ford said, "We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country." So you know what's interesting about this? Hang on a second. Hang on one second. Here we go. Let me look this up real quick. Let me see if I can pull up this list if it's going to be accurate. Hang on one second. It's this one that was old. Here we go. Nope, that's new. All right. It's not coming up in the search, which it should. But if you go back and you look at all of the tariffs that have been, here we go, tariffs by country. Let me see if this works. Canada, import partner, 13%. This is by region. United States imports tariffs by country. So Canada, number of tariffs, tariff agreements. Shoot, this is a really bad chart. I can't use it. Never mind. All right, let's skip it. The chart is not clear. So, but here we have. So Trump starts the trade war, etc. But let's watch what this guy has to say.
Is off the shelves. Also, starting today, all U.S.-based companies will be banned from taking part in government procurement. Every year, the province and its agencies spend about $30 billion on procurement, alongside our more than $200 billion plan to build infrastructure. U.S.-based businesses will now lose out on tens of billions of dollars in revenues. They only have...
Do you guys know what percentage of Canada's GDP is tied to the US? It's amazing. So exports to the US account for 18% of Canada's GDP. That's about 2.4 million jobs are dependent on business with the US. And so, the objective, one of the things Trump said was close the border, stop the flow of narcotics, of fentanyl, things like that into this country, keep illegals out of the country. And also, if you have tariffs coming this way, then, we got to consider how it's going to be managed. So right now, obviously, there's a little bit of some turmoil, with Canada. They're trying to fight back. The thing is that if Canada takes such a strong stance, which they really have to, I'm not going to fault him for, taking a strong stance like this, because at the end of the day, he's got to look out, for Canada. But at the same point, and, Legendary and Mark Smithson are bringing up a really solid point. Canada's a disaster. They have a horrible prime minister over there, economically suffering. Prices are out of control. What they did to the truckers was horrendous. What they did to anyone sending money over there was atrocious. The way they behaved, the way they treated people with such disrespect, the level and extent of what we saw them do during shutdowns because of COVID were completely outlandish. And this is on our northern border. But at the same point, these guys, they've got to take a stance, at least, step up and say, hey, if you guys are going to tariff, we're going to tariff. Now let's negotiate. They've got to come in with a strong position. At the same time, the Prime Minister of Canada is done. Time to end the reign of chaos in Canada and put somebody there that actually cares about Canada and Canadians. What I'm shocked about, and someone else had said this as well, is how he was shocked about how, here we go, that was visual vendetta. I can't believe Canadians are hating Americans. The way they, disrespect of our national anthem at the game, and all that. There was a little bit of kind of back and forth on that, but at least this guy, Canada's not for sale. They got to be bold. They got to stand up, come to the negotiating table with a strong position instead of a weak position, and then let the cards fall where they fall. But the one that's going to hurt the most from any type of tariff war, and we're talking about a tariff. We're not talking about banning and boycotting goods, banning and boycotting travel to Canada. That just shows you the level of ineptitude, in all actuality. They're not saying we're placing a 25% tariff. Like, look what this guy was saying.
Plan to build infrastructure.
Wait.
All U.S.-based companies will be banned from taking part in government procurement.
So basically, we're saying we're going to put a 25% tariff. They're saying American companies aren't even allowed now to work in Canada and do, so where are they going to go? To China? Where are they going to get their product? Where are they going to get their goods? It's going to hurt them so much more than it's going to hurt this country. They're cutting their nose off to spite their face, but they've got to take a bold stand regardless. They got to put it out there. So that's enough of that statement. Let me play this thing one more time. Let me get this guy out of here. Forget that. He's out. Let's get rid of him. Let's move on to better things, nicer vibes like this one right here. Get your Yeti wallet, your Zaman wallet ready, because we're going to do the drawing for this badass Yeti here in 2 seconds. But here, let's go.
What's the word of the day? YETIS. Get your comment wallet ready, because this one's gonna be epic. Stay tuned to the whole legendary. Blue drop, Yeti, Jack 452 system, set up clan titans. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's go. So that's it. That is getting us ready. I can't believe there's only 15 entries. Can you be like 15? That's it. 1, 5, 15. That's all right. Why? Because we'll have another giveaway on the next show. We are going to get ready to roll the dice on this one. 16. Got 16. So we're going to roll the dice on this one right here. Ready? 3, 2. Get your Zaman wallet ready, because when you win, I'm going to transfer that bad boy right over to you. You guys want to see it one more time? One more time. There he is, the Titan of the Titan clan from the Baddest Yeti Blue Tribe. There you go. There you have it. One of the Titans. So let's get ready. Here we go. Turn that up. You guys can't see it. I'm not sharing it. Hang on. I forgot I wasn't. Now, there you go. Badass Yeti, the Titan of the Badass Yeti Blue Tribe. Number 6. This guy's number 6. Very cool. All right, here we go. Ready? We're going to draw. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. So flow. Now, in order to win, you got to be here. So you got to say, I'm here. And you got to have your Zaman wallet ready. So number 1 is SoFlo Digital, still here, because he was here like 2 seconds ago. So you got to say here, say SoFlo Digital here, and Zaman wallet. So let's see. SoFlo. There we go. Number 1 here. Now, number 2, Zaman wallet address, so we can transfer this bad boy over to you. There he is. Right there. We're going to hit transfer. We're going to transfer that guy to you. Let me go to regular YouTube. Uh-oh. Did I forget to do that part? Let's see. Oh, you know what? I was in the middle of editing. Oh, I forgot to turn that on. Did I forget? Oh, I forgot to take that out too. That's so crazy. I was in the middle of editing. Left all those things in there. All right, that's all right. Let's go back here. Now I got to view it. Let's go to view. Here we go. Now we got to pull up regular YouTube and get ready for that Zaman wallet address so we can transfer this bad boy over to you. So let me know. SoFlow, make sure you put it in there. Put the Zaman wallet address into the chat, and then we're going to grab it and we're going to transfer this bad boy over to you, which will be kick ass. Right? There he is right there. Didn't see me. Zober, you were there. Oh my God. What in the world? Can't get your address. All right. Well, you know what that means, guys. That means that you have another chance. So we've got 15 entries. So we're getting ready to throw this back in again. Colin, who said they didn't see theirs, type in Yeti. Type in Yeti. It only takes once, but also goes pretty fast. So you have a chance right about now, because I'm going to hit here, draw again. And we got the 15 in. And once I hit draw again, then that's it. It is going to go. So here we go. 3, 2, and all right. How about if it's Jim D? Jim D can might throw it back into the pot. Here we go. It's rolling. Rolling. Mike Maroth. Look at that. Look at that. Mike Maroth, big winner. Big winner. Are you able to throw in your Zaman wallet address? And this is totally random, right? We just kind of hit the thing and it rolls. And do we? Okay. Let me double check. Let's see if I actually do have it. We will find out momentarily if it's here. Let me open and double check. And here we go. We're checking. We are going to the tribe. Let's see what we've got here. All right. I don't know. It could very well be here. Could be hiding out. Let's see. Man, I looked through like the last ones that people have won. Mike, I don't see your Zaman wallet. Oh, there you are. I found it. Look at you. Winner. Look at that. Now you're going into the blue tribe. The blue Yeti. You get the a Titan, which is pretty kick-ass. Think about it. Last winner was Reborn John. And before that was Crypto Whelp, winning a blue tribe, which is pretty cool. So we got Mike number 6, and today is the 5th. So here we go. It's been recorded, and now we're going to transfer this bad boy over to you. So we click, going to transfer, going to put this in, and let's hope I didn't pick Jim D's wallet address by mistake, because then Mike's not getting his not getting it. So hang on a second. Here we go. All right. Let's go to the Zaman. Maybe we'll get Mark's Zaman wallet by mistake. Nope. Here we go. All right. Scanning. Accepted. Look at that. Now I'm gonna hit this slide to accept. And as I do that, got to make the notification, verifying it's been submitted. verifying on this side, and boom, that's it. Successfully done, transferred. It's been sent to Mike Maroth. You now are the proud owner of this badass Yeti Titan number 6, which is pretty sweet. I like that one. Very, very cool. Huh. The Yeti. That's right. All right. So we're going to think the DOGE will be investigating the Yeti soon. Who said that was way back up there? All right. Well, guess what? We've come to that point in time. It is the end of the show. It was great. Pleasure spending the evening with you guys and giving away this badass Yeti, talking geopolitics, politics, and cryptocurrency. We had a blast. Hopefully you guys had as much fun as I did. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Unfortunately, won't be here Saturday or Sunday because we will be at an event. It's a secret event that we've talked about now for the past couple of weeks, taking place up in Cape Canaveral. So we will be there at the Cape Canaveral event, introducing some speakers up on stage, which will be very cool. Looking forward to that. So if you guys happen to be up in Cape Canaveral this weekend at this secretive meeting, then we will check you guys out very soon. SoFlo. There you go. Next time. Quick shout out to everybody here. Colin, SoFlo, Mike, Zober, Reborn, Caroline, everyone down here, Jim D, Reborn again, and everybody else that's here. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys on the next one. I am out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.